WLG is proud to support BIV's 2020 Fastest Growing Companies and congratulates all of this year's recipients. From regulatory hurdles to IP issues, we know that taking your business to the next level is often easier said than done. Visit our website to learn how we can help accelerate your growth wherever business takes you.
Hi, my name is Marshall Birkin, Vice President, Products and Services at TELUS Business Solutions. Businesses big and small are looking for new ways to thrive in the future. And at TELUS, we're deeply committed to helping in every way we can. We pride ourselves on providing world-class service and support for the technology your business uses every day. The TELUS team is here for you, and we'd be happy to be part of your conversations and help you identify the right solutions for your organization. To learn more about how we can help you transform your business, visit telus.com/business.
This is BIV Today, the daily business video show and podcast from the journalists at Business in Vancouver. I'm Hayley Woodin, and my guest today is the co-founder and general manager of the fastest growing company in British Columbia. Marco Pimentel joins me, GM and co-founder of Assembly. He's also the CMO at Red Brick, two companies that have made our fastest growing list of companies this year. Marco, great to have you on the show. Thanks so much for coming on.
Happy to be here. Good morning.
Looking at the data on BIV's list, 66,732% revenue growth over 5 years. What is it like to grow that fast?
Yeah, it does come with a tad bit of experience. I think in Red Brick in 2016, so the 5 years period, we experienced, I think it was about 8,300%, so 8,300% growth in a 5-year span before. So we felt it, but we've never felt it to grow this fast. I have 2 little kids, and that feels like it was fast, and it all happened at the same time within that 5-year period too. So I think in general, life has been quite fast, and to grow at that kind of speed was at some points micro. When you look into it, it was slow because we're relying on kind of technical implementations. And so when you think about technology, you always think about sprints and building and development and then releasing and then changes and it setbacks and all these things. So it does feel like at times it was a little bit slow because you're kind of waiting for the next implementation. But yeah, in general, it was wild. Our team had a little bit of fun last week to celebrate the win. We delivered mini champagne bottles to everybody, and we did a big Zoom pop, and people were laughing that in 2015 we had a kitchen that had no running water, and fast forward today we're in a beautiful 5th floor, and so we've been growing quite fast since then.
That's a nice way to celebrate, of course, physically distanced, as is the case, the reality that we find ourselves in. Who would have known 5 years ago that we'd be in this position? I am curious, what are some of the factors that underscore this level of growth? And tell us, by the way, a little bit about Assembly too, because I think that would be helpful for listeners.
Yeah, so Assembly is, at its core, we are a digital publisher with a focus on technology. So we have a variety of publishing sites, so Facty.com being one of our largest sites, and it's usually ranked in the top 15 health site in North America in terms of visitors. And so in 2019, for perspective, we had about 255 million visitors to our properties across Assembly. And at the core of it is a technology piece. And and our core is called Statera. And so Statera is a layer of data and optimization that allows us to, in real time, understand the value of a reader on site between pulling in a few different data points, some probabilistic determination as well. And then alongside that, we pass that information back to marketing partners. So Google, Facebook, to say, this is a good reader and this is not a good reader. And so I think that the combination of really 2 things allowed us to grow. One was the development into Statera and into our technology. We're really this kind of technology layer publisher. That's our kind of our core strength. And then just kind of thinking ahead and thinking quite fast, and investing really, really early and investing in before the growth. And I had mentioned this in a conversation prior was, and we did this at Red Brick, and I think that was where the learnings from Redbrick, where we invested ahead of growth. We did the exact same, and we repeated that process. So it was investing in technology and investing ahead of growth that allowed us to capitalize on that growth at the time. And I'd say those are probably the two big key factors. And of course, investing in growth means investing in people. We have an incredible team, and we invested in those people that allowed us to then scale and further build out our technology too.
Mm-hmm. I think about just the sheer amount of data that's out there, how digitally focused we are in our lives now, especially this year too, where so many more people are working from home, reading from home, living their lives from home. Do you think part of the growth is maybe a function of the time we're in, that you're seeing this level of growth because it's 2015 to 2020 as opposed to, say, earlier on in our history?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So when we started, most of our site visitors were on desktop, and desktop was at times 80% of our visitor volume. And we fast forward today, and everything that we do, from designing our logos, we design mobile first. 90% of our traffic is now mobile. So complete change from 2015 to 2019. It's hard to avoid it. You go on a ferry to the airports, to everywhere, and people are just, they're consuming so much content, which is a challenge as well, right? Buying for somebody's attention is really difficult, but it's just the amount and the immense amount of content that people consume now, and primarily now on mobile is definitely added to that as well.
I know sometimes we hear from technology companies in BC that it can be a struggle to find the talent that they need to fill certain positions. And I imagine with the amount of growth you've seen, that you've had to make at least a couple of hires over the last 5 years. What has that talent acquisition piece looked like?
We're pretty fortunate because of, I'd say at Redbrick's, at a Redbrick level, Redbrick, being the parent company, supports in a shared service model. So in Redbrick, we have HR, we have finance, we have people ops, we have marketing and design as well. And so that people ops really helps. And so, we've heavily invested in co-op programs. So even right now during COVID, I think we actually hit our highest amount of co-ops ever. So instead of scaling it back, we actually heavily invested. So I think between Redbrick and the 4 companies that we have 8 or 9 co-ops at the same time. So we've found incredible talent through the co-op programs, continually investing there. And I think in Victoria, at least, we've done a really good job of being a workplace that challenges people, but it's also a fun culture. And we've been able to retain people and really be able to get a good funnel of new employees coming in. So we've obviously had our challenges. We've had postings sometimes for times where it's like, this is still going on. But in general, I think we've done a good job at attracting and I think people really like to work at Redbrick and the Redbrick companies. So I would say we've been fortunate to do it, but it's not because of not doing things to build up there.
Of course. I should mention too, Redbrick's on our list at number 24, and Assembly, as I mentioned, at number 1. What do you see over the next 5 years for both companies? What are some of the big opportunities you're going to be tackling?
Yeah, so I could touch on Assembly first. Assembly really is continuing to invest in new properties. We want to further build out our technology stack. We feel like we're still pretty early, although we've grown a lot. To maintain that type of growth is obviously very, very difficult. And so right now we're investing in new properties. So we just launched kind of like a home how-to type of site called thehabitat.com. So we're investing in new properties and then layering and just continuing to layer in technology. And we think that we can probably continue to grow on that path. I don't know if we can, in 5 years, we'll still be at 66,000% growth. But I think looking at potential other companies that, maybe as a publisher, they haven't really looked at that layer of technology before. So that's definitely in our funnel, as well as, potentially looking to partner or to acquire other companies that are in the space. And then similar to Redbrick, right? Redbrick, we're looking to support the companies that we own, but then also, kind of what can we build or what can we acquire for growth as well. But, Redbrick just acquired a company. We acquired Lead Pages in March of this year. So I think we acquired them really, I would think about 10 days before we shut down all of our offices. And so that's a, incredibly talented team of about 40 people based in Minneapolis. And, we've been able to really quickly have some impact on that company with some growth. And so that strategy of looking and acquiring such an incredible company, if we could replicate that again at Red Brick, as well as further support the companies that we have right now, that would be fantastic. But I think that's the kind of the near term goal. It's been tough with COVID to kind of think out 5 years, but we're actually just going to be going through that exercise and getting off the island and doing some an offsite to start addressing that, because we hope and we think we're past the worst with COVID, and now we can kind of start thinking, how do we strategize on the next kind of 5 years. So we're trying to answer those questions right now with while being in a pandemic and everything at the same time. So
just a little bit on your plate, no big deal.
a few things, yeah.
Marco, a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks so much for coming on, and congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you, Hayley. Have a great day.
That's Marco Pimentel, co-founder and general manager at Assembly, the company at the #1 spot on our fastest growing list of companies here at BIV, and also the CMO at Red Brick, which is number 24 on our list. I'm Hayley Woodin. Thanks so much for watching and listening to BIV Today. We'll be back with another episode tomorrow.